Japan dominated motorcycles with reliability, style, and power. But things are changing fast. Chinese bikes are no longer cheap copies. They're refined, daring, and ready to compete head-to-head with Japan's finest. In this countdown, we reveal 18 Chinese motorcycles that are shockingly good, from agile commuters to serious sport machines. Every machine here pushes the limits of what riders thought was possible. And trust me, by the time we hit number 10, you'll see why the best surprises are just around the corner. Fueling the fire at number 18, Zontes ZT125G1. The Zontes ZT125G1 proves that Chinese motorcycles are no longer bargain bin knockoffs. This little roadster shows how far things have come and why even Japanese rivals are starting to take notice. Underneath, it runs a 125 cubic centimeter liquid cooled single that makes about 14.5 horsepower, giving it real punch for its class. With a 6-speed box and a slipper clutch, features you usually find on bigger pressure machines, it shifts smoothly and holds highway speed near 70 miles an hour without feeling strain. The build is equally surprising. The frame feels solid, the plastics fit clean, and riders say the upright stance and suspension soak up city bumps better than expected. Compared with starter bikes like the Duke 125, the Zontes holds its ground. Priced around $4,000 new and far less used, it offers style, tech, and value that punch well above its weight. But not every rider wants a playful city bike. Some crave full-size adventure capability, raw power, long-range comfort, and features that let them tackle highways and gravel alike. That's exactly where the next contender steps in. Lighting it up at number 17, Voge 900 DSX. The Voge 900 DSX, also called the Valico 900, is proof that China is no longer playing in the small leagues. This is a big-bore adventure bike built to stand toe-to-toe with the European and Japanese heavyweights. At its heart is an 895 cubic centimeter parallel, twin with roots in the same engine family. BMW has trusted for years. It cranks out around 95 horsepower and 66 pound-feet of torque, numbers that put it right up against machines like the BMW F900 GS, but for a fraction of the cost. The feature list is what really shocks riders. KYB suspension, Brembo brakes, a 7-inch TFT display, quick shifter, slipper clutch, cruise control, heated seat and grips, radar blind spot alert, and even aluminum luggage are included, not extras. It rolls on a 21-inch front and a 17-inch rear with spoked wheels and adventure rubber, ready for asphalt or gravel without breaking a sweat. And then comes the price. In markets overseas, it lands around $9,000 new, thousands less than its Japanese and European rivals with similar gear. That's the kind of value that makes even brand-loyal riders sit up and take notice. The Voge 900 DSX isn't just another option, it's a line in the sand. It proves that China can build a world-class adventure bike with big power, premium features, and a price tag that makes the competition look nervous. But not every rider needs a near 900 cubic centimeter heavyweight. Some want adventure capability in a compact, lightweight machine that's easier to handle and far more affordable. That's exactly what the next bike brings to the table. Roaring into number 16, Zontes 310 T2. The Zontes 310 T2 is China's answer to the small adventure tourer class, a machine built to take on bikes like the Honda CB500X, but for thousands less. This isn't a stripped-down budget commuter dressed in ADV clothes. It's a purpose-built package designed for riders who want freedom beyond city limits without emptying their bank account. Power comes from a liquid-cooled single with 312 cubic centimeters, making around 34 horsepower. It's lighter than most Japanese rivals, so the power to weight feels sprightly, whether you're slipping through traffic or stretching its legs on the open road. The equipment is where the T2 shocks people. You get a TFT display with smartphone connectivity, keyless ignition, tire pressure monitoring, Bosch ABS, slipper clutch, and even electronic fuel cap and seat release. Features you almost never see in this price bracket. Add in its taller windshield, comfy ergonomics, and a fuel tank that stretches range well past 200 miles, and this bike proves it's more than a toy. And here's the kicker. In markets overseas, it lands for well under $5,000 brand new. That's thousands below the Honda CB500X, yet it brings tech and features that Honda doesn't. The Zontes 310 T2 shows just how far China has come in the adventure segment. This is a light, capable, and well-equipped tour that dares you to ask why you'd pay more for a Japanese badge. But not every rider is chasing tech and gadgets. Some want a back-to-basics machine that keeps things simple, rugged, and affordable. A bike that thrives on reliability first and price second. That's exactly where the next contender steps in. Throttle wide open at number 15, Lifan KPT200. The Lifan KPT200 proves it can deliver rugged adventure at a price point the big names can't touch. This bike was built for riders who want a single machine that can handle the weekday grind and still chase horizons on the weekend. At its heart sits a liquid-cooled, fuel-injected single, displacing 200 cubic centimeters. It puts out a steady 18 horsepower and the same in pound-feet of torque, funneled through a slick 6-speed transmission. That gives it plenty of punch for backroads, while still sipping fuel from a generous tank that stretches the miles between stops. Here's what really turns heads. In the US, you can buy one brand new for about $3,000, even less on sale. That puts it a full $1,000 under some Japanese rivals, but it still delivers features and attitude that outshine its price. Safety and confidence come baked in. Dual disc brakes with ABS, modern suspension, and tubeless tires keep it composed on both city pavement and gravel detours. Light, comfortable, and affordable, the Lifan KPT200 makes adventure approachable. But adventure bikes aren't for everyone. Some riders don't dream of gravel roads or long fuel ranges. They want speed, precision, and a machine that slices through city streets with style. And that's where the next contender comes in, carrying sharp edges and performance tuned for the urban battlefield. Owning the road at number 14, QJ Motor SRT800. The QJ Motor SRT800 is where Chinese motorcycles stop whispering and start roaring. This middleweight adventure tourer goes straight after the Honda Transalp, the Yamaha Tracer 7, and the Suzuki V-Strom 800, but it does it for thousands less. At its core is a liquid-cooled parallel twin just under 800 cubic centimeters, pushing out around 91 horsepower and 54 pound-feet of torque. That is real mid-range grunt. The kind of power that makes highway cruising easy and lets you dive into back roads with confidence. And the hardware makes it even more impressive. Marzocchi upside-down forks, an adjustable monoshock, Brembo brakes, a full-color TFT display, heated grips and seat, LED lighting, even 3-piece aluminum luggage. These are features you normally see on bikes with European badges and double the price tag. That price is the real stinger. In the US market, this machine lands at about $9,500 brand new. Compare that to a Suzuki V-Strom or a Honda Transalp, both easily north of 11 grand, and the value is impossible to ignore. The QJ Motor SRT800 proves China is no longer chasing. It is building full-size adventure bikes with serious power, premium components, and a price that makes the competition sweat. Step down from big bore touring, and the spotlight shifts to a compact sport machine. The next bike trades long-distance muscle for razor-sharp looks and quick city-friendly performance. Proof that Chinese engineering isn't just about size, it's about style and versatility too. Breaking through at number 13, Lifan Voge GP300. For decades, riders have looked to Japan for motorcycles that embody durability and innovation. Yet in 2025, a new contender is rewriting expectations, the Lifan Voge 300 Rally. This machine does not simply imitate the established leaders, it challenges them outright in the adventure category. Its liquid-cooled single displaces just under 300 cubic centimeters, producing 28 horsepower and 25 pound-feet of torque, edging ahead of Honda's CRF 300 Rally on paper. A ready-to-ride weight of 348 pounds, tall seat height, and nearly 11 inches of ground clearance paired with KYB suspension make it nimble both on pavement and in the dirt. Riders benefit from Bosch ABS, Nissan brakes, and switchable off-road control, for added confidence without needless complexity. The real disruptor is price. A new model lists for roughly $4,600, far below Honda's $7,800 tag. With used examples often under $4,000, it offers serious adventure capability at a fraction of the cost. But affordability alone is not the whole story. Some riders wanted more polish, a bike that looked as sharp on the boulevard as it felt out on the highway. That's where another contender arrived, a machine that mixed value with style and swagger. Hitting top gear at number 12, Zontes GK 350. The Zontes GK 350 is where vintage styling meets cutting-edge engineering, and in 2025, it has earned its place among the finest Chinese motorcycles. While Japanese brands like Kawasaki and Honda dominate the middleweight class, this cafe racer-inspired machine brings something fresh to the table. Classic character with modern muscle. Its liquid-cooled single displaces 348 cubic centimeters and produces nearly 39 horsepower with 33 pound-feet of torque. At just over 400 pounds, the GK350 feels light and responsive, whether carving through downtown traffic or stretching its legs on weekend backroads. Premium hardware separates it from rivals. A bright full-color TFT cluster with Bluetooth pairing, dual-channel ABS, upside-down forks, and a rear monoshock. Even the round LED headlamp underscores its stylish retro vibe. Priced around $4,100 new, or slightly less on the second-hand market, the GK350 proves Chinese craftsmanship can rival others not just on performance, but also on design and value. Yet not every rider wants nostalgia in the package. Some demand a sharper edge, a machine that looks forward instead of back, built with aggression and speed in mind. That's exactly what came next, a motorcycle that sharpens Zontes' vision into a more radical form. Hitting top gear at number 11, Zontes 350R. Zontes 350R brings a surprising edge to the middleweight street fighter class. Instead of following the crowd, it delivers its own personality. Modern, confident, and undeniably capable. The heart of the machine is a liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine, sized just under 350 cubic centimeters. With close to 39 horsepower on tap, the bike pulls briskly, whether darting through town traffic or stretching its legs on an open road. Its throttle response feels deliberate rather than twitchy, giving riders a balance of strength and control. What sets this Zontes apart are the thoughtful touches. A vivid TFT screen with phone pairing, keyless start, and dual-channel anti-lock brakes. The aluminum alloy frame keeps the bike agile while maintaining stability. Now let's talk price, because that's where the shock really comes in. In the markets where it's sold, a brand new 350R runs about $3,400, while clean 2022 models usually sell for between $2,400 and $2,600 used. That is noticeably cheaper than a Japanese bike with the same performance and features. The 350R left its mark as a sharp city scrapper, loaded with modern touches that made it feel ahead of its price. Still, for riders chasing something beyond a nimble commuter, something with a broader stance and deeper reserves, its limits were clear. That gap set the stage for a machine that brought more heft, more command on the road, and a sense of authority you wouldn't expect at this level. Carving through the ranks at number 10, Motor SRK400. Taking the 10th spot is the Motor SRK400, a motorcycle that shows just how far Chinese engineering has come in a short time. This machine blends sharp lines with purposeful hardware, creating a bike that is as confident in traffic as it is on an open stretch of pavement. The parallel twin engine displaces just under 400 cubic centimeters and produces a little over 40 horsepower. Paired with a 6-speed transmission, it delivers steady acceleration and a refined ride character that appeals to seasoned riders and newcomers alike. Suspension is handled by upside-down forks in the front and a single shock at the rear, providing a planted yet lively feel. Extras include a clear TFT dash, full LED lighting, and dual-channel anti-lock brakes. With a price tag far below its Japanese rivals, brand new models in the US list for around $3,500 to $3,900, with used examples usually in the $3,000 to $4,000 range. That undercuts Japanese rivals by a wide margin, proving you can get real value without losing refinement. The SRK400 offers an attractive mix of style, substance, and sensible cost. It showed that China could build a middleweight with poise, a machine that balanced polish with everyday usefulness. Yet for riders with longer roads ahead, its smaller frame and modest reach still left something missing. That opened the door for a motorcycle built to stretch horizons, carrying more muscle, more distance, and a spirit that leaned firmly toward exploration rather than routine. Blasting forward into number 9, Voge 500 DSX. The Voge 500 DSX is a reminder that smart engineering doesn't have to come with a premium badge. Built around a parallel twin that delivers steady usable power, it thrives in the sweet spot between daily transport and long-range exploration. Riders get a machine that feels relaxed on interstate miles, but still eager to climb a mountain pass when the pavement ends. Its equipment list is equally practical. A bright display with Bluetooth, spoked wheels sized for real adventure tires, and suspension tuned to soak up ruts without beating up the rider. Add in a tall screen, wide bars, and solid ground clearance, and you have a bike that feels like it was designed for American roads as much as European trails. Best of all is the value. While not yet widely available new in the United States, 2022 models are selling used for about $4,400 on average. That's thousands less than comparable Japanese adventure bikes, and yet it still offers the same mix of dependability and long-haul grit. The 500 DSX carved out respect by blending practicality with long-haul grit, showing riders they could tour far without chasing a big brand logo. But as capable as it was, some riders wanted more than balance. They wanted a machine with larger lungs, one that could devour miles with highway authority while still keeping comfort front and center. That step up came from a builder unafraid to go bigger and bolder. Number 8, CF Moto 650 MT. The CF Moto 650 MT highlights the impressive progress of Chinese motorcycle design. This mid-weight touring machine carries a smooth parallel twin with a broad spread of power that feels steady on the highway, yet never harsh in traffic. The gearbox shifts with ease, and the clutch is light enough to make stop-and-go riding painless. Where it truly wins riders over is comfort, an upright position, supportive two-piece seat, and adjustable windscreen keep long hours in the saddle from feeling like a chore. Add in upside-down forks, Bosch fuel injection, and dual-channel ABS, and you have a package that feels every bit as finished as the Japanese competition. At roughly $6,400 new and far less used, the 650 MT delivers genuine touring ability without the premium brand markup. Now the 650 MT made its case with comfort, composure, and range. A tourer through and through. But for riders who don't dream in miles, comfort alone isn't enough. They want grit, swagger, and a machine that makes a statement at every stoplight. And that's where the story shifts, from long-distance calm to raw style, with a bigger heart and bolder lines. Cruising in at number 7, CF Moto 700 CLX. The CF Moto 700 CLX shows that a Chinese naked doesn't just get you from A to B, it can make every mile exciting. Its parallel twin with DNA traced back to Kawasaki's ER6 serves up a punchy mid-range and a surprisingly strong pull-up top, giving riders a grin that doesn't fade. What sets it apart is the mix of flair and function. The retro cues, wide handlebars, and upright stance create a laid-back vibe, while KYB suspension and steady handling invite you to push harder when the corners come calling. Add in a slipper clutch, Bosch ABS, and a sharp digital dash, and the bike feels current while keeping its character intact. And the kicker, at about $6,000, it's priced below the competition, yet still delivers the style, performance, and fun factor that riders expect from a much pricier machine. But success in this class never goes unanswered. Rival brands were eager to show they could deliver more force, more presence, and a platform that looked ready to spar with Japanese twins head-on. That counterpunch came swiftly, and it carried a name built on momentum. Holding strong at number 6, QJ Motor SRK700. The QJ Motor SRK700 is China's answer to the modern street fighter. Lean, aggressive, and ready to scrap with the big names. Its parallel twin kicks out 73 horsepower with a strong mid-range punch, giving it the kind of roll-on power that makes slicing through traffic or attacking back roads effortless. Smooth shifts from the 6-speed box and a light clutch keep it friendly, even when you're pushing hard. Visually, it's all attitude. Sharp bodywork, upside-down forks, radial calipers, and a slick digital dash give it the premium edge riders usually expect from Japan. Yet the price tells another story. Around $7,200 brand new, making it a serious bargain. Fast, focused, and affordable, the SRK700 isn't chasing the competition anymore. It's staring them down. But pure aggression only gets you so far. Many riders crave more than just sharp looks and bursts of adrenaline. They want refinement, long-distance comfort, and the confidence of a bigger, more composed machine. And that's exactly where CF Moto stepped in, raising the bar and proving China could play at the next level. Grinding into number 5, CF Moto 800NK Advanced. The CF Moto 800NK Advanced is one of the clearest signs yet that China can build a serious naked bike. Its parallel twin makes just under 100 horsepower, which gives it plenty of pull for passing cars, running through town, or stretching its legs on a country road. At around 415 pounds with KYB suspension and Bosch ABS, it feels planted in the corners, but still light enough to handle traffic without fuss. What really makes this bike stand out, though, is the equipment. You get an 8-inch color screen, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, a quick shifter, cruise control, and even keyless start, things that usually show up on machines costing twice as much. Starting around $7,200 new, with used examples even lower, the 800NK Advanced delivers big bike performance and high-end tech without the high-end cost. But motorcycles are more than street weapons. They're passports to places far beyond the city skyline. Riders who dream of endless highways and wide-open horizons needed something else, and that's exactly where the story takes its next turn. Number 4, CF Moto 800MT. This is the point where Chinese bikes stop being a surprise and start looking like real competition. The CF Moto 800MT runs a KTM-built parallel twin with a little over 90 horsepower, putting it right up against the KTM 790 Adventure. But for close to half the price, it's built for the long haul. You get cruise control, phone hookup, and suspension that can handle both highway miles and gravel back roads. The upright seating and wide cushioned saddle make it a bike you can ride all day, and the 4-year warranty shows the company is confident it'll hold up. With a starting price around $9,500, you're looking at big-time performance without the big-time price tag. The 800MT proved that long-haul comfort and serious adventure gear no longer belong exclusively to Austrian or Japanese makers. But in every family, there's always a sibling who takes things a step further. Where the MT leans practical, its big brother adds aggression, tougher looks, sharper stance, and a presence that feels ready for the wild right out of the crate. The leap from capable to commanding begins here. The beast arrives at number 3, CF Moto 800M TX. If the standard 800MT is built for the open highway, the MTX is its dirt-hungry twin. Sharing the same KTM-sourced 799 cubic centimeter parallel, twin with roughly 95 horsepower, this version takes the fight off-road with longer suspension travel, extra ground clearance, and a fuel tank stretched to over 5 gallons. The chassis feels rugged. The bodywork carries sharp adventure styling, and details like the adjustable windscreen and wind protection make long tours less fatiguing. Bosch electronics, cornering ABS, and a quick shifter elevate it beyond what many Japanese rivals include at this price. At about $9,500 new, it offers trail-ready muscle without the premium price tag. Yet even a trail-ready beast has its limits. Some riders crave raw character, a bigger engine, and a presence that commands attention before you even twist the throttle. That next machine doesn't just meet expectations, it redefines them, showing what a modern midweight can truly feel like in your hands. Unstoppable at number 2, CF Moto 450 SR. The CF Moto 450 SR is the moment when China steps directly into Japan's turf and swings hard. This is a lightweight sport bike aimed squarely at the Kawasaki Ninja 400 and the Yamaha R3, but it brings the kind of style, tech, and performance that proves China is done playing second fiddle. At its core is a 450 cubic centimeter parallel twin, making just under 50 horsepower. That is serious output for this class, giving it strong acceleration, a red line that begs to be chased, and enough speed to keep up on the highway while still being light and flickable in the twisties. The details are where it feels premium. Full fairings with sharp, aerodynamic lines, a TFT dash with track-inspired display, slipper clutch, ride modes, and Bosch ABS for confidence at the limit. Even the ergos walk the line between comfortable commuter and full-on racer, so it feels equally at home in the city or on a back road. And the price? Brand new, you are looking at around $5,500. That undercuts its Japanese rivals while matching or beating them on performance and features. Used models are already dropping into the $4,000 range, making it one of the best values in the sport bike world right now. The CF Moto 450 SR proves China can build a light, fast, and seriously capable sport bike that doesn't just compete with Japan, it forces riders to reconsider why they would pay more for a Ninja or an R3. But performance isn't the only battlefield. The next machine shows how China can dominate in an entirely different arena, the cruiser class. Classic looks, friendly power, and unbeatable value make it a motorcycle that speaks to both new riders and seasoned hands. The bike that sets the standard? Number 1, QJ Motor SRV500. If there's one motorcycle that shows China can stand toe-to-toe with Japan, it's the QJ Motor SRV500. This middleweight keeps things simple. Solid engineering, easy-to-use power, and a price that makes riders stop and think. The 500 cubic centimeter twin puts out about 47 horsepower and 46 pound-feet of torque, run through a smooth 6-speed transmission. It'll pull to roughly 130 miles per hour, enough to keep a new rider interested and still plenty for someone with miles under their belt. The backbone frame, 18-inch wheels, and well-balanced suspension make it steady and predictable. Whether you're rolling through town or stretching it out on the highway, the SRV comes ready with the basics every rider expects today: electric start, ABS brakes, and fuel injection. Now the kicker: brand new models in the US run around $4,800, and used ones go for roughly $3,500 to $4,000. That's a bargain compared to comparable Japanese bikes: reliable, affordable, and genuinely fun. The truth is simple. The SRV500 isn't just another motorcycle. It's proof that China can build a machine that's reliable, affordable, and genuinely fun to ride. That's why it takes the top spot here. Nothing else matches it. Now we've hit the top of the list, but the road keeps going. Tap the video on your screen to keep riding with us, and subscribe so you're right here in the saddle when the next story rolls out.